So,
can you give an example?
oh yeah, we're going to do that like all morning.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. So basically what we're going to do is, we have the interview here, you're not a doctor, and they pose you a question, and when I was like sitting, I don't know the answer. Of course you do not know the answer. But when you're going in for the pig line, you actually know the product. So what we're going to do is we're going to start getting little stories in. And these stories are the stories we construct now, so we can use them later. If you're like 2 years down the road, the doctors will have told you other stories, so you can use those stories. It's called inside selling. And we're going to use the inside selling to actually loop it every time around. What we want to do from here on, and this is called, in American we call this like boxing in. And boxing in is actually very simple. We're going to start, and this will be, for every doctor, this will be like totally different. We're going to start their beliefs. We talked about it yesterday, what we think with our computer. Their values in the heart. And we're going to start also their limiting beliefs about sales professionals. You know, when a sales comes in, maybe you don't know that. I go, oh my God, it's sales. So we want to get rid of those sales beliefs. So we need to get stories in here. We need to get stories in here. We need to get stories in here. And the stories we're going to tell are stories about, one, the product. And now we're going to tell about the product. We can get the vision in and we can get the product in. We're going to tell stories about me, but not in a way, I am. That's so obvious. So we're going to do it like a little bit different. And we're going to tell stories about vegan. The stories about me are the stories where I helped other doctors in other hospitals to realize the goals of those doctors. When I'm telling stories about vegan, I don't know if you get this one. I'm going to tell stories about commitment. Very concrete stories. Not like, yeah, in vegan we are committed. Doesn't say anything. Give me a story about how vegan was committed to do something for a client, for a doctor. Give me somebody's story.
Yes. The story of Catherine and newsletter, for instance, let's see.
Tell me the
She
story.
went to go to a hospital on Saturday because she started on Friday the project and you cannot wait till Monday, for instance.
Yeah.
Story.
So give me the story. Tell me the story.
It was just a PIC line, they put in a PIC line on a patient on Friday, and we had, the nurses needed to change the group blood on Saturday, but they never did it, so I went to help them.
Okay.
I don't know if that's commitment.
You can use such a story. You can use it.
No, that's not commitment. That's just doing your job. No. Okay, wait. If you tell the story like that, it's a story that's too high up there. Catherine, if you tell the story like that, the story is too up high. It's like, I want you to tell me the story very, very concrete. Friday. Which Friday was it?
13th.
Yeah.
Halloween. Halloween.
It was really movie.
Okay. Which Friday was it? You don't know anymore. The hospital. Which hospital was it? Okay. Who in that hospital had a problem? What was the name of the doctor?
No, it was...
The nurse. What was it?
Yeah, it was a geriatric department.
And who was in charge then on Friday?
Marie.
Do-
Did she
At what time did she call you on Friday? When did they call you?
Oh, they didn't call me.
What did he do then?
Sorry? No, I was to put the big line in the operating theater with the anesthetist
On Friday?
on Friday.
What was the name of the anesthetist?
Sorry?
What was the name of the anesthetist?
Yeah.
Ah, voilà. On est là. Okay. Okay, Catherine? Catherine?
Pardon, oui, quand on parle
You-
de Nietzsche, pardon.
Oui. Listen, no. David, that was on Friday. At what hour did you go to put the pick line in with him?
What hour?
Hour.
4 o'clock in the afternoon. And you decided at 4 o'clock or at 5 o'clock in the afternoon to come back on Saturday? Or when did you decide that? Or
It was naturally because yeah, we put it the big line at 4 o'clock. At 5, I went with the patient back in his room. I gave all the information to the nurses to take care of the line for that day, and I promised that I came back the day after because the nurses of the weekend were not here to listen to how to change the rhythm. So I went. I found it natural because if I didn't do that and it had a problem, it would be an issue for me too. So
that's an inside story.
Yeah.
You understand it?
Yeah.
If you're telling a story like that, yeah, I helped on Saturday and on Friday. No, you're telling the story. When David asked me to put it in, I went in at 4 o'clock at Friday afternoon. We were in theater for 1 hour because I like to give the whole explanation to him. We get the nurses come in when we got back to the, and then when I did that, they said like on Saturday there's another shift coming in, so naturally, because otherwise I wouldn't feel good about it. So Saturday morning, at what hour was it? You went back? When did you go back on Saturday?
at 11.
At 11 o'clock, I just went in again, and for like half an hour, I don't know how long, half an hour, we talked to the staff on how to treat the patient. That's an inside story. If you tell the inside story, yes, of course I will come back, nobody will believe you.
Yeah.
You understand that? That's the difference. Now we're in here, we're looping. In other words, the stories now are going to be constructed very concrete, so they can actually check it. You can check that with David. You can even give the phone number because you know you did that. So you don't lie in your stories.
Because normally they think sales rep, they will tell everything to get the deal. Or maybe like, but if you do it like that, it's more concrete.
Yeah. Is that okay? So I want you to do is go in groups, and I want you to get like stories about yourself, one story. I'll check the story. If the story is too high up there, I go like, duh. So I want to have it like Catherine told us, the story. And she told, in the first place, she was like, I'm telling a story here, I'm telling a story here. And suddenly she went, click, yeah, and then that's the way you want to tell it. You don't need tonality on that. You're using tonality because you're like, that's the way you tell it because it's your story. You actually experienced that. I want you to get a story about yourself. And I want you to get a story about vegan. When you get stories about vegan, I want you to use one of these words. Commitment, but don't say vegan is committed. No, you go, we're in vegan, and I went in and I tell the story. So now you got commitment from vegan. That's how we do commitment. I have here like another one, integrity. What could be a story for integrity? I want you to have one story about yourself, and I want you to have one story about Vigo, as Vigo. Now, I'm going to help you on the story for yourself. We're starting with the story on ourselves. Is that okay? What I want you to do is take a page, blank, write your name on top of that page. We can do the blank page, we can use the course. Write your name on top of it. Telling stories about me is not so simple for me. So I'm going to help you. Yeah, I know. Everybody written his name? Ready? Now, what I want you to do is pass this paper to the left of you, to the person on the left. And take the paper from the other person, sir. Left, lefty, lefty, lefty. We go that way, clock. Now, what I want you to do is you look at the name, and even if you don't know the person, you like just starting with Vigo. You look at that person, like, what's the positive impression I get from that person? If you know the person, what's the most positive thing as a sales representative I can say about that person? Just put in like 1 or 2 words. That's it. What can you say about that person in Vigo? 1 or 2 words. If you want 5 words, that's okay. Even if you don't know the person, you actually saw her or saw him, like, is that okay? Everybody done? Good. No, a few words. What can you tell about Luke? Be positive.
Take your
Jij kan zelf het probleem.
Wat?
Zijn niet zo geen probleem.
Maar ik weet zoveel, maar ik kan het niet...
Give a few. So look at the name on the page, say a few words, nice words about that person. Done? Move the page. Next person. No. Left.
Okay.
We're going the circle until you get your own page back. Sebastian, give the paper to and then the name in front of you, a few words, put it onto the paper.
Always talking about qualities of that person.
Qualities of that person. You see the name in front of you, you go like, that's a quality I think that person has. You put it on, and then you give the paper, and you take the next paper on the next person. Okay, you can watch them later. I'm going to explain what we're going to do with it. I know most people just look at it. That's like very nice. You got blind spots on there. There are things on there that people think of you, that you go like, well, that's not a quality. Everybody does that. No, it isn't. What's on there is like specifically for you. What I want you to do is go in your team and make me an inside story with the positive qualities that are on your paper. You don't have to pick them all. I want like one quality or 2 qualities maximum and make a little story about it. You can have like 5 stories, so it's like different qualities, different stories. But you cannot go in a hospital and go like, well, people think of me that I'm very smart. And it's So, you have to make a story about how you actually helped somebody in a hospital in a smart way. Understand it?
It has to be in a hospital.
It's for the doctor. This is for the anesthesiologist. So it has to be a story that he or she can relate to. What did you do as you're a smart person, it's on there, so you'll find a story. Okay? If you're a hot mama, then I'm sure that in the group you're in, somebody will find a hot mama story for the anesthesiologist to tell.
So you make story of someone else?
You do it in groups, you make for one person, you go like, which quality would be over 5, and then you make a story about that quality, and then you take the next person.
Okay.
And then you make a story for that. So you help each other to make the story about that person. Because if I'm doing it on myself, I can have like a story in, but I'm not sure about it. So you have the feedback of your group. And you have like lots of qualities to choose from. Try to find a quality that's important for the anesthesiologist. Don't find the quality that's important in other places. Like I heard some people wrote some hot stuff on there, or...
Ja, dat kan wel interessant zijn.
But it's good to know that the people think that of you, so that's the impression you're giving professionally. Okay, you can go and sit outside or here, take like 20 minutes. Now we want to talk about vegan, but we don't want to just tell a story about our company. We want to tell like the stories that are important. So I got this as a starter. You got here like integrity, human-driven, commitment, open-mindedness, improvement-orientated. I'll repeat them because you have to make a story about all of them.
All of them? One story?
No. A story about integrity, a story about human-driven, a story about commitment. Catherine, pourquoi je vais répéter? A story about open-mindedness and a story about improvement-oriented. We want to tell stories about our company because once everybody here is telling stories about our company, next year when you come in, you can go like, that's somebody who's working with vegan. So if vegan is open-minded, you will be open-minded too. We want that the hospitals and the people who work in hospitals start recognizing us as being part of a team, which makes me as a salesperson much stronger than before. Most salespeople are just egos. They don't have the capacity to have leadership capacity, they call it. That is, be there for the team, and if you be there for the team, you're better for yourself. That's an ego. But they don't tell it in leadership. That's what you do. I know. Emily, sorry I told people that you are like pushing, you know. Okay. So I'll repeat them, and you have to go back in teams and make a story about integrity, make a story about human-driven, make a story about commitment, make a story about open-mindedness, and make a story about improvement-orientated. And these stories should be related to the anesthesiologist. If that's the first place we're doing it for him, for her.
You forgot the first one.
The first one,
Integrity.
Integrity.
The other one, that's not like the ELS.
Okay.
Can somebody tell me a story about themselves that you written on paper? Gaetan? Can you tell me a story that you written down onto the paper?
Yeah.
Tell me your story.
It was on a Thursday, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I got a phone call from the pharmacist and they had a bigger baby on the weekend. And the baby had a vaccine, I don't know what it is. And they work with nutrition And she was very afraid because they work with our problems, and that's an open connection, and you can put some IV in that, and that shouldn't be. So she said the team is all working with NutriSafe, so they're not used to that anymore. I'm very afraid that they will do something wrong, because there are a lot of people working there. Can't you come over?
If you say there are a lot of people working with that, how many people?
I don't know how many people are working in 55?
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
55, yeah.
that's a lot of people. If you say a lot of people, I go like, is 3 a lot of people or 2,000? Yeah, 55. So they get.
So it's very dangerous if somebody would make a mistake, the baby could die.
Yeah, okay.
Very. I think it's very important that I went immediately. Luckily, I had.
Okay. You said, I think it's very importantly that I went immediately. Don't make the comment how important it is. It's up to them to decide what's important and what's not important. But if you just tell the story that way, 99% of the people will think that it is important. Okay? You don't want to put words in their mouth about what you think about the situation. You just want to tell the situation as it is, and it's up to them to make a conclusion.
So luckily I had a little briefcase with me, and there were some pieces in there. So I went there, and the baby was really crying, and they had to take everything off, and we had to look for the right thing to put in, and luckily we found it with the help of Flo, because Flo is someone you can always count on to help you. And she said, I think this will probably be the right piece. So I already looked in the briefcase to see if I had it luckily. So I went there and it fitted, and they were very happy. I was very happy because it's a little baby, and if something would happen, I would.
Yeah. Now, you cannot say that you're very happy.
Yeah.
You can say that luckily for them, happy everything.
Yeah.
Don't, if you talk about yourself, this is the most important thing, you never talk about yourself. Whatever you say about yourself, you don't say about yourself. Somebody else told it about you, or you did the situation. So everybody can say, there's only one conclusion, hey, Dan, you did a great job. But that's up to me to think that, and that's up to you not to. If you say it, it's going like. So you cannot say it. That's the important part. You just tell the story. That's normal to me. That's what you said outside. Most people are like, yeah, but that's what I do. That's what you do.
Would you say, luckily I had these pieces, would you say, I have a
I
special
would
box?
leave.
Because then they say, okay. So
If you say like, luckily I had the piece, that means that most of the time you don't have the piece. So that's the little angles in the stories you have to notice. But that's something you will learn on doing and making the stories. When I do training like 5 days, I got like 20,000 stories in there.
At the moment.
And they're never about me, but because it's about somebody who came to the training, it's always about. I cannot tell a story not about me, because if I'm telling a story not about me, I never would have heard it. There's always, okay? So that's the way you make a story about yourself. Now you're going to make a similar story about vegan as a company. You can, if you want to first look, you can say vegan was founded in 1974 by a professor because he wanted to help this and that and that. And the second look, and then you tell a story about integrity. Is that okay? So you can go back outside, make stories. What you want is, later on, when you go to box in, that they're asking you a question very directly, you deflect the question a little bit, you tell a story about the product, we're going to do that too. You tell a little story about you, tell a little story about a vegan, and then you answer the question. And then you ask for the close. So what do you think? That's very self-closing. What do you think is going on? I'm going to teach you how to do that. And then they go like, yeah, and the next question will pop up. And then you do the same thing. And then the next question, and the next question. And suddenly they're out of questions. And they don't know what to do. They don't want to buy, but they don't have any questions. You were telling about yourself, you were telling about vegan, you were telling about the product. So they go, okay, that's what's happening. The problem is, when I came in yesterday, and Luke told me who I was, nobody remembers me because you don't know me. But now I can introduce myself. I'm Manon. I worked at 3 cabinets. I had like 700 people working for me. I was an advisor to 2 ministers, and I was a spokesperson to Skepa in Ghent. What I did was normally get like specialized people in. I was a general advisor. So whenever a dossier popped up, it was up to me to actually get a vision in there and get it going again. Now I'm telling this story about me. Well, the first time you tell about who you are, you can actually tell, this is me. But the second time, it's about just stories. What happened to you? It's like somebody saw Forrest Gump.
Yes.
Saw the movie. When he was young, had little braces on. The bus stops, opens the door. Bus driver, it's a woman. She goes like, "Come on, get in." And he goes like, "I don't know you. You're a stranger." And bus driver, the lady goes like, "Oh, I am." And I don't know her name anymore. I am Lorraine. I'm Daisy. I'm your bus driver. And he goes, "Oh, I'm Forrest Gump. Now we know each other." And he gets in the bus. That's how we think that's stupid. That's how people work. I don't know you, you don't know me. I tell a few stories about myself, and you go like, "Oh, but no trustworthy." They go on the bus. That's why you're telling stories about vegan. That's why you're telling stories about yourself. And that's why you're telling stories about your product. That's how it works. And you go, "No, that's crazy." First person comes around to just say, "Oh, ask me to," and I help that person and that. And after a while, you start trusting them. So that's why you want to have stories in. We're going to do the vegan story, a few of them, and then we come back.